Hey guys, I wanted to speak for a few minutes about Christopher Watts. Christopher Watts killed his pregnant wife, Shannan Watts, and his two daughters, Bella and Celeste, CeCe, on August the 13th, 2018. He smothered his pregnant wife and buried her in a shallow grave, and he put both of his daughters, Bella and Celeste, in oil tanks, which are also called batteries, at his work site. And I'm going to speak about the interview that Ronnie and Cindy Watts done with the Sun. And basically, as you can see by their headline, Chris Watts' parents still support evil murderer son, but say they live with tragedy of losing their grandchildren, every day. Yet nothing was said about Shannan there, just their grandchildren. And then they go on, and this is a photo of Ronnie Watts and Cindy Watts. They go on to say that Chris does not know anything about the Netflix documentary that just aired, that they have not told him about it, that there's a lot of talk online of him feeling shame, and Cindy said that's absolutely not true because Chris isn't aware of this documentary. So, first off, I don't understand why she would refute that in the first place, regardless of whether it's true or not. Let everyone at least think that your son who murdered not only his pregnant wife, but his two children, let the public think that he's feeling shame for what he's done. So I just thought that statement was a bit ironic coming from them. But Cindy goes on to say to the Sun that her and Ronnie watched the Netflix on Saturday, and that Cindy was shocked to see videos that she thought were private videos or private moments, and even seen a video where Cindy was in the backyard on a slip and slide, and then goes on to say she was just surprised that was in there, that they're airing such private moments, but there's really nothing she can do about it at this point, is what she's saying. She said there's just a lot of untrue narratives out there, and I guess she's speaking primarily online, and that people just don't understand, but of course she does, because she has to live it every day and has done so for 2 years now. And Cindy also said that it's nothing Chris hasn't lived through. He saw it. So I guess she's just implying that he saw everything take place. It was his life. So therefore, he doesn't need to see something that's about him in his life because he lived it. So they didn't even show all the conversations, is what Cindy's saying, in the Netflix documentary that they showed, or they did not show all the conversations that Chris had with his dad, that they really didn't show anything, that there was so much that was left out. And here, this one, I think I've got on the next one what Ronnie said, but they're saying there's not one day that goes by that I don't wake up with them on my mind. I go to sleep with them on my mind. I will never, ever get over this. It's something that stays with you. Obviously, that's a given. And it goes on to say, Ronnie and Cindy say they regularly speak to the twisted killer and claim he's heartbroken and has turned to religion, spending days in his cell, writing in his prison journal. And here's where Ronnie speaks briefly. Ronnie says, quote, he has not been able to watch it, talking about the documentary, but Cindy did say they watched it, so I'm a little confused on why he's saying he's not been able to watch it, because Cindy definitely says that they watched it on Saturday. But he said he was never told about it, nor was he asked about it. And it was about typical of what he thought it would be. He wasn't shocked by any of it, is what he said. So I'm not sure how he's making that statement when he just said he has not been able to watch it. But anyway, he also goes on to say, quote, "They asked if we wanted to see it before it was released, which I declined to, but I wanted to see what the narrative was going to be." He's taking it one day at a time, just like we are. I guess he's referring to Chris. We still love our son no matter what, and we miss our grandbabies. We're trying to move forward, but it's a very hard task. And again, of course, but also there, a lack of mention about Shannan. It's just missing the grandbabies, Bella and CeCe. But Ronnie does go on and he to say that Chris has been moved to general population and that he does have a job now in prison. And he's, again, I'm not sure if I said it at the beginning, but he's being housed in Wisconsin in Dodge Correctional. And also, they spoke about Cherlyn Cadle. And I'm thinking I just saw something a few minutes ago where maybe she's making an appearance on NancyGrace. I do not know. But I can tell you, I'm not going to purchase the book. I purchased this one that you see on the screen, Letters from Christopher. And then it came out that it was plagiarized. So all the books had to be pulled. She basically copied another author's work, plagiarism. So, with this new book that's coming out, The Murders of Christopher Watts, I'm definitely not going to be interested in this book because now, as it's been shown, how are we going to trust Cherlyn Cadle? She plagiarized the book. We don't know how much of the information in the first book, Letters from Christopher, how much of that information was even true in there. So, I'm highly against purchasing it, but you guys do what you want, of course, but look up, that ordeal there because she did get, I'm not sure to what extent the trouble she got into, but I think it was someone on a YouTuber that actually had found out about her, the plagiarism and brought it to the author's attention, and of course the author contacted her attorney and then Cherlyn Cadle, in which ironically the author that Cherlyn plagiarized was an attorney herself. But anyway, I'm sure you're going to hear that name since she's on NancyGrace, so I just wanted to let you know about her first book and it being pulled, and it's not allowed to be sold any longer. Amazon, everywhere she had it had to be pulled. And she did visit Chris in prison, and she had been writing, her and Chris had been writing letters. But again, how do we know truth, whether something's true or false, coming from Cherlyn Cadle? We don't, but let me know what you guys think in the comments.